Hi, I'm Laura. 11 years ago, my boyfriend Luke and I set off for a gap year that accidentally changed our lives. Since we left home in 2010, we have lived in New Zealand, Australia, South Korea, Mexico, and are now living in Lithuania. These videos are a small window into the adventures we seek along the way. Good afternoon. Today, in 5 minutes, I'm about to have my first Lithuanian class, my first lesson. I'm a little nervous, as it happens when you start something new that you know you're not going to be good at. So I thought I would take you along on this journey a little bit so you can see how I'm going to learn Lithuanian, where my level is at now after doing some Pimsleur classes, some Pimsleur app, really, it's not a class. And then after my class, I will talk you through what I'm going to do in the next coming months to improve. So here we go. Let's sit down and speak in Lithuanian. Here we go.
All right, well, let's give Lithuania a try then.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen, and this file is called Laura's Lithuanian Notes. Now, in Lithuanian, everything is masculine or feminine. In other words, we always refer to things as if it was a man or a woman.
Okay.
And there's little logic, because a table apparently is a he, a chair is a she, not because, a table looks very manly, but it's just how it is. And he wants, she wants.
Je snore.
You snore, we want.
Me snore me.
Very good. All of you.
You snorete.
And they.
Je snore.
Very good.
Aš geru
Yep.
arbata.
Very good. And, I buy food.
Aš perku
Yep.
maistą.
Very nice.
Je turi mašiną.
Very good.
The class was not nearly as scary as I thought it was going to be. Šarūnas is a great teacher. I actually found him last year. I don't know if you guys remember my video from Vėlinės, but he kindly offered to be interviewed for that video and talk a little bit about the holiday and share the Lithuanian side of the experience. So I got back in touch with him this year, knowing that he runs a podcast about learning Lithuanian and also is a Lithuanian teacher. So I'm super excited to have lessons. He actually sent me some homework. Obviously, the lesson was a couple of days ago now. I've since changed into a different sweatshirt to sit in my living room. But I thought I would do some of the homework and see where we're at. So yeah. So he first advised that I review the stuff from the lesson. We basically went over the structure of a sentence: subject, verb, object, speaking in present tense, and changing the noun, which is one of the tricky parts of Lithuanian language. If you've never learned it before, nouns change just like verbs change in English or something. So yeah, let's review, shall we? Namas. Gala, arbata, alus, akmo, kambarys. Those change to plural: namai, kambarai, galas, arbatos, stalai, kėdės, miestai. The cool thing about learning a language from scratch, which is something I remember from Spanish and when I tried to learn Korean many years ago, is that you learn a lot really quickly at the start. So like you go from not being able to say anything to being able to say lots of different things, and it feels really exciting. And then you remember that I can't actually speak to anyone in the street. So. Okay, we've got 5 examples that we need to translate into Lithuanian. I am eating a pie. Valgyti. So it is aš valgau valgu, like AU, valgu, piraga, piraga. It's not necessarily the pronunciation that I'm really struggling with, although that is part of it. But the thing about Lithuanian that is I find quite difficult is the emphasis, like the emphasis on the different syllables. It's just so, I'm not finding it very natural. I'm finding it like I will say whatever I think where the emphasis is, and it's completely wrong. So that's something that I definitely need to work on. Just finding the natural emphasis points on words. But this is fun. This is really cool. Like I really like learning, you guys. So it's cool to have a teacher. So that was basically what I wanted to talk about with this video briefly. Like, why am I getting a teacher? I know a lot of people are learning languages on their own, but there's two things about Lithuanian, or two things in general. One of them makes it more specific to Lithuanian, and one makes it more specific to me. The first thing is that Lithuanian is not a very common language to learn. It's not like trying to learn Spanish or French or German or even Turkish or Chinese, right? Like, there are so many people in the world trying to learn those languages that there are so many resources. Like, it's insane how many resources there are and how easily you can like sort of self-pace through online classes without teachers, you know, like sort of Pimsleur kind of stuff, or even Lingoda, which I use for Spanish. Those things don't really exist for Lithuanian. You can't self-pace through like online courses that get you past the very beginner phases. There are a fair few courses online that teach you the basics, and I feel like I've addressed that enough now, and it's not getting me anywhere. Like I said, there's a lot about the Lithuanian language that's so different, and I think having a teacher is a really good way for me to really push on with the language and get past that sort of the basics of just being able to say like "nesu pronto," like I don't understand. Arius kalbate angliškai, like those are my phrases, you guys, and it's it's not getting me very far outside of the big cities of Lithuania. And you know, one of the things I really want to do this year is get under the surface. I want to see more of Lithuania, and that means going to places where people don't speak English. So that is a really big motivator for me. The second reason I want to get a teacher is because I personally know myself, and even if there were a lot of like online free resources for learning Lithuanian, I wouldn't have the motivation is not the right word. Like I wouldn't have the self-discipline to get on there every day. But when you're paying for something, when someone's waiting for you in a Zoom call or, you know, a Google Meet classroom, like you have to go. So having the accountability of having a teacher every week and sitting down once a week and then having homework that I know if I don't do it, I'm going to have to face Šarūnas and say, I didn't do it. And I'm sure that he's not going to like scold me, but you know, there's a certain bit of accountability there that needs to be had. And I like that. And that really works for me. So I'm really excited to push forward now and really make a lot of time and space for learning this language. So yeah, if you have other resources that would be helpful alongside doing this, let me know in the comments below. I've already gone through all of the Lithuanian lessons on Pimsleur, which I think has helped quite a lot with my pronunciation and hearing the language. But yeah, just maybe some activities, whatever you guys think would be helpful for super beginners who, I mean, you heard the extent of my Lithuanian just then, that's it. I hope you're excited for this adventure. I'm gonna kind of keep you guys posted in the coming months about how I'm getting on. Hopefully we can have a few more videos where I'm speaking a little bit more Lithuanian. I think it'd be really fun. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really supports my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.